Bad morning. Part of a bad life. Targeted individual. Working on 4 hours. No. I went to sleep at 4 o'clock finally. Finally got to be able to sleep at 4 o'clock. And was abruptly awakened by another problem, but I won't talk about that problem. It's nothing to do with a person. It's just another problem in my life. I want to show you, for the people that don't want to believe, when I lived in Longview, I was under the most horrendous directed energy attacks. I could not walk some days. I shut the blinds, kept the house dark, and could not move some days. This was the pillow. This was the cushion that my body directly laid on. This is weird. It's right in the middle. Directly laid on. My chest, my organs, and that's where my head was laid on. And when you look at it closely, you could tell it's a burn. It's a burn. It wasn't a tear. This never tore. It's burnt. It's burnt leather from directed energy weapons. Burnt leather. In the amount of time that this happened, this is where I laid my head at when I lay on the couch. In the amount of time that it took for this hole to start from nothing to, I'd say probably a year, I lost 5 of my wisdom teeth and other teeth. You talk about the most immense, excruciating pain on the planet. This is where my head lays. My chest, my body, all ate. I can't even tell you, the pain's unfathomable. I could not move for years. This is what happens to a high quality leather couch. This couch cost me $5,000 in 2000. In the year 2000, I paid $5,000 for this couch. This is directed energy. And anybody could come over here and they could test this and they could see where this is clearly burned. The fabric hit so much with it's just like a convection oven. Just like a convection stovetop in your house. You could put your hand on it and you don't feel heat at all. Just the object you're trying to heat up. Well, they can do that with the human body. And I've told you about how they can raise the temperature in my body from normal to burning up where I couldn't stand. I couldn't even be touched because my skin was literally on fire. This is the result of directed energy. Now, you want to look at Spokane, Washington right now and tell me how a forest fire entails the trees of the forest catch on fire. It should be called aluminum wheel and building tire because they have aluminum wheels melted across the road, but the trees and the grass 2 feet away is perfectly fine. American people and people around the world are being cooked to death. We're being microwaved to death. If the data center wants, and by the way, Google Spokane, Washington, exactly where that was. The city council, they were fighting the city council to stop a what? A data center. They will either burn you out, burn you into submission, or they will flood you out with weather. Or they'll hit you with a tornado and a hurricane. If they want your land, they're going to take it. If they want your soul, they have to fight God to get it. But your body will not stand in the way. Told people, since I moved to the side of the mountain where I am right now, my body is like new. My body is like new. How's that happen? Because I don't have any high voltage. There are no power lines running through my house. I run off a generator. I'm off grid. Plus, my home is made of steel. The voice to skull weapons can get in. The psychological weapons can get in. The thought implantation can get in. The psycho elements of this crime still have an effect. They can wind me up so bad that I want to go out there and hurt myself and others. That's why I try so hard. I try my best to remain cool and calm, but I am tired. I am physically exhausted. Everything I have, everything I worked for in my life has been destroyed and taken. Everything I own is destroyed. Everything I own has been taken and destroyed. I have nothing left for them to take. They've destroyed everything. All because I got put on a terrorist watch list. How did that happen? How did you get put on a terrorist watch list? Well, it could be from my grandfather where he went AWOL in World War II. It could be from that where they experiment on the whole family. Just like the days of old and when there were kings and queens and when they said, I want to kill the whole family. I want to wipe out the entire bloodline. It could be that. It could be when I was 16 years old and I was living in an apartment with a couple of my buddies. Two visitors, two of my friends came to my house. They went 3 apartments down and blew up a cop car. Could be that. So they put me on the list. The cops wanted me so bad in that crime of blowing up a cop car. I took a polygraph test. They said, you even lied about your name. When I was inside, knew nothing about it until I saw the fire trucks roll in. And guess what? Me and another person are the only 2 people alive today. You hear me? From that incident. One guy had a massive heart attack at 40 years old. How do you do that? How many 40-year-olds have a massive heart attack? Well, it happens. Another buddy of mine got a flesh-eating disease that literally ate his body to death. And my best friend, voices in his head till he hung himself. I hung myself too. I've been dead 3 times because of this program. Because they've literally been after me since I was born. This is the result of directed energy weapons on a leather couch. I can only imagine what this radiation has done to my body that I don't know. I don't know about, but think about this. They say radiation kills cancer. Radiation kills all this other stuff. Supposedly, tell me how ever since I've been in this program, since it's been overt since I used to say 2012, but it really goes back to 2010 when the program was overt, where it was literally in your face. You know, people are following you and people are tearing up your shit. Go all the way back to then. And I've only been sick 10 times. I've only had a cold or a flu 10 times since 2010 because of the radiation they're hitting me with. Sick. The United States government is evil. This is the most evil government in the world. They have weapons that you cannot fathom. I warned you about drones before we knew what they were. I warned you about all this technology because it was experimented on me first. Get put on a terrorist watch list, and once they destroy your life. William Binney, former CIA guy, one of the head tech guys for the CIA, came out as a whistleblower against Obama. What happened? They destroyed his body. He has no legs now. He literally has lost his legs because of this program. And he will plainly tell you, I get hit with directed energy weapons. William Binney, Bill Binney, Google it yourself. A whistleblower, targeted. There are thousands of other people just like me being terrorized and tortured every day. And no one will listen because all they can say is, you're a meth head. You're crazy. Yet I've got records for the past 3 years of taking a drug test every single month and never failing one. Remarkably, the only drug test I failed was the one where I was involuntarily committed. I was asleep. They put me asleep. For 3 weeks, I was completely sedated. And they used that to say, oh, well, you failed a drug test in this time. They used that to deny me disability benefits. The only drug test in my life I have ever failed was to help me get my disability benefit, or it was the result of canceling my disability benefits when I got put in an insane asylum on the rubber rooms for 3 weeks. I did not know who or where or what I was. 3 weeks straight. So I can't tell you what experiments they ran on me that time. But this is just crazy talk to anyone else.